Hello everyone, this is Mini Joda here. Welcome back once again to another episode of Galerians. This is gonna be part 5, and it's been quite a while. It's been a few months actually since last I uploaded, so I apologize for that once again. I thought I was past apologizing for uploading late, but I guess not. There's just been a lot going on recently. It's come to a point in which, you know how before I said that I had to do 2 practice runs before doing my actual recording? So this time around, I had to do 3. Because the first one was just me getting reacquainted with the game in general. Because I haven't played it for such a long time that I had to. I just had to get used to it again. And then my second run was my usual, you know, just getting reacquainted with what I have to do, and then after that, you know, my standard perfecting the run. So yeah, again, I'm sorry for the late upload. It's been a while, like I said. I'm really out of practice, so... but hopefully I was able to get enough practice to do this recording, so it will seem seamless, I hope, at least. You're gonna have to encounter a lot of these enemies from before. You have to fight these rabbits 2 at a time, kind of like the same way that we did in the hallway. So you have to be a little bit more careful, I guess. Hopefully you have a good stack of items. I recommend to just attack them. Don't worry too much about getting hit. So long as you keep attacking them over and over with red, like I recommended last time, then you should be okay. If you've been collecting everything, you should have a good stack of items that you can use against your enemies. The other thing you can do is, I guess you can always run around and try to dodge them, but since they use telekinesis just like you do, then it's more than likely that you won't be avoiding getting hit, so just attack him. I mean, it's fine. Or at least from the practice runs that I did, that's kind of what worked best for me, to just attack them straight up. If you remember last time, we collected a couple of items, so the doorknob, which allows us to get to this area, and the key to the 2nd floor, so just make sure you grab those before you come here, otherwise you won't be able to do much. And, ooh. And again, we have to fight a lot of these rabbits over and over. I would say try to clear the rooms while you can, because it's gonna get a little bit more populated with enemies later, so you'll see. But for now, it's not that bad. There's a lot of rooms that are kind of... have nothing in them right now. But try to explore everything, if anything just for cutscenes, because there's a lot of backstory here as you're about to see.
Pascal, suspicious-looking men in black coats have been lurking around my house lately.
Well, we can't keep them together.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
We have to separate them. I'll take Lilia away from here.
Thank you for everything.
I'll contact you once Lilia is safely hidden.
Did you see that, baby Rion? That was beautiful. Beautiful. So again, collect all the items that you can. I will try my best to show you where everything is, just to make sure you don't miss anything. But I guess since there's a lot of backstory, I can go a little bit into a ramble fest, I guess, because since you're gonna see a lot of Rion's story, I guess I can tell you a little bit of my story as well. So basically, the thing happening in my life is that there's been a lot of changes. It's been pretty hectic recently, over the past few months, and that's kind of what's been stopping me from uploading as often as I would like to. Ooh. So this is important. You have to jump over this gap. What you have to do is that as soon as you make the jump, you're gonna have to press X over and over to climb up, so that you don't fall down. If you fall down, you're gonna fall to the bottom floor, And there's nothing in there right now for you to do, which means that if you fall, you're going to have to go all the way around, take the stairs up, and come back to where you were. This is the area where you have to be, so just make sure that you don't mess that up. Otherwise, you're going to have to go all the way around. I found that out the hard way by failing at doing this over and over during my practice runs. And no, this room is important. For whatever reason, you have to go to the bathroom and collect an item, the one that we went to downstairs during our last episode. But for some reason, they don't let you collect that item unless you come here first, which happens to be your parents' room. So as you see, there's a letter from your mom. And you have to check this box right here. And again, I don't know why they did that. I guess it's just an old design oversight. But you have to, I mean, you saw the, the vision of the bathroom. So you have to go back to the bathroom downstairs. But unfortunately, you do have to come here first. So, what can you do? And this is completely optional. But there is a cutscene, so I figure I will show you everything, right? 100% like we said. And that's it. Otherwise, there's no other items here. Just get out of the room. You have to explore a little bit more up here. We're gonna have to come back anyway, but I recommend that you grab all the items now. We'll tell you why later. So in any case, as I was saying, my life has been pretty hectic lately. One of the main changes that happened is that I did a big career change. I don't know if I mentioned before that I graduated as a nurse, and there's nothing in the room, don't bother. That's a bathroom, but there's nothing in it, so don't you worry about it. So in any case, like I was saying, I used to work in IT. I don't know if I mentioned that before. I was a help desk technician, and I have been trying to get a new job, over the past few years and so, but unfortunately or fortunately, it took me quite a bit, and a few months ago I was able to get a job, and I guess I wasn't really prepared for it, because when you start a job as a nurse, depending on where you work, especially if you're a new nurse to the field, then you have to do a lot of training, and that's what I've been doing, months and months of training.
Rion's fever won't break.
Don't worry, it'll break by morning.
I hope so. I'm so sorry, Rion. Won't you find it in your heart to forgive us?
I couldn't find another safe place to hide it. If it fell into Dorothy's hands... Dr. Pascal also agreed that there is no other way. I'm so sorry, Rion. Humankind's future is in your hands.
Rion, please forgive us for doing this to you.
So let me talk about this room before I forget. If you remember last time, we collected a painting called Metamorphosis. And this is where you use it. This is completely optional. You don't have to come in here at all. As you see, this is your room from your childhood. And you're going to see that there's kind of like that faded section on the wall. That's where you're going to hang the painting. And what that's going to do is it's going to open a shortcut to the floor below. Obviously, you can either go back and fall on the hole, that gap that we crossed before, or you can take the stairs, or you can do this to go back downstairs, which is what we need to do. However, if you do this, you're gonna get a little bit of a cutscene.
This is a new ring we had made. Your father has one just like it. Isn't it beautiful? But remember, it's a secret.
Okay.
You're such a good boy, Rion.
Okay, remember that ring. It's important for what we're gonna do next. So just do your standard thing. We're going back to the bathroom. No big deal. And I've been pretty busy, like I said, so that's why it's taking me so long, and I've been finally getting adjusted to my new schedule. So I feel like I'm trying to collect myself again, getting used to recording and everything. So I think I should be able to post on a regular basis. I'm gonna give it my best effort. Don't hold me to it.
No, go away.
Oh boy. And I missed everything. It's been holidays and Supernatural has been going on, and I also went to PAX East recently, so I have a few videos from that. I'm gonna make another cosplay compilation thingy, like before. Okay, so you have your mother's ring. Let me go back upstairs because it's a big trek. I'll meet you guys up there. Alright, there we go. So now what you have to do is, like I said, come back to this room, which again, for whatever reason, you have to come here, then go back, and then come back here again. What you're gonna do is use your mother's key in order to unlock the box that's in here. And with that, you can get now your father's key as well. Your father's ring. Now you need this ring, and you need your mother's ring as well, so just make sure you take that before you leave. Do grab it, you need both rings together. And the game doesn't hint you or anything that you need both of them. You can use telekinesis later to find the... So this is the reason why I suggested to grab all the items now. Because there's a lot of enemies here. And you can either fight them, or you can just avoid them like I am right now. So that's obviously the better way. I was kind of tempted to show what happens when you fall. But I kind of don't want to waste the time of, going back upstairs and everything. So I think I'd rather just... leave it up to imagination. You're gonna fall at least once, I think, once you try it. Because again, the game doesn't hint you as to what you have to do. They don't tell you like, oh, press X or anything. I guess it's one of those oversights of old games and stuff. And as you notice, this game is, or not this game, but this section is pretty cutscene heavy. And I know a lot of people complain about the bad voice acting in this game, and they said that it kind of takes you away from the story, which is true. But at the same time, I feel like you can't be too judgmental when it comes to that, because it's a game that came out in the 90s, and that was kind of like the beginning of 3D games and survival horror games in general. So, voice acting, it was a new thing. So that's why games like Resident Evil and games like this have such horrible voice acting. But I feel like you can kind of look past it, because the story's pretty good. All you have to do is just kind of overlook a little bit of the bad voice acting, I guess. It's honestly not that bad. Resident Evil is much worse. And again, you kind of have to look at it in a way that if you remember from, the 30s and the 40s, if you're really old like I am, then you'll remember shows from back then that they had really bad acting as well. So it's kind of excusable. The beginning of TV and movies and everything. Okay, so this is a huge cutscene, so...
My dear son, Rion, if you ever get this message, your mother and I have probably already been killed. But before you start mourning our death, there is something you must do. 7 years ago, Dr. Pascal, a friend of mine, completed a next-generation computer named Dorothy. Dorothy was a revolutionary computer with the ability to make its own decisions and repair itself. Under her own power, Dorothy grew completely new cellular circuits, enabling her to abandon her old system kernel. Her growth continued smoothly, and before long, she was controlling her senior computers and rose to the status of Michelangelo City's mother computer. That was when Dorothy's insanity began. She began wondering why such an inferior system, such as humankind, should not be wiped out. And why she could not kill people, even though people kill each other. So I told her about the existence of God, I told her that God was the master of creation. God created humankind, and our fate is in His hands. No one can deny this. In Dorothy's case, her creator was humankind. In other words, Dorothy's God was humankind. She must obey the fate we decide for her. It appeared Dorothy accepted this and began serving humankind again. However, she secretly began simulating God's existence over and over again until she reached her final solution. Her solution was the family program. Dorothy placed the city's memorial hospital under her control, and then began genetic experiments on humans. She wanted to create a race of humans with psychic powers and absolute loyalty to her. She called them Galerians, and she was their god and creator. Dorothy was trying to create her own world, with herself as God. The family program was a ritual for her to become God. However, Dr. Pascal and I had a backup plan in case Dorothy went out of control. In Lilia's mind, we hid a virus program that could destroy Dorothy. And in your mind, we hid a program for activating the virus. That was 5 years ago. Dorothy fears the virus program more than anything else. Only you can retrieve the virus program from Lilia's mind. My dear son, the future of our race is in your hands. You must save humankind.
So that wasn't too bad, was it? I mean, voice acting wise? Because the story is very interesting, as you see, it has some philosophical aspects to it now, so... Grab that 3-ball. You're gonna need that. Very, very important. That's the whole point of being here on the second floor. Other than that, there's nothing else here that we need. So do grab that. We're gonna need that, obviously, if you remember back then there was a pool table. And that's where we're gonna head right after this. Which I think I may cut because it's a long trip, so I'll see you guys down there. Alright, so here we are. So, if you notice on the table, there are 2 balls missing. And we only got 1. So now we have to get the last one. And as you see, that's in the pool outside. Again, for some reason you have to do this before you go there. So that's why we're here. But I think it's been a long episode. I'm not exactly sure how long it's been, but I do know it's been quite a bit. Because I'm gonna be cutting portions, so it's okay. But in any case, sorry for the delay again. I will be seeing you guys very shortly. I hope I'm gonna do my best effort. But for now, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and as always, enjoy.